Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach. And today I'm talking about how to deal with disrespectful behavior when you're dating and in relationships. So first of all, let's just talk about what accounts for disrespectful behavior. So in my opinion, disrespectful behavior is when anyone says anything to you, right, that makes you feel extremely uncomfortable and it makes you feel less than, basically. Now, of course, sometimes you need to think of like, okay, did they actually really mean that, or do I just have really thin skin? Because sometimes, people get so offended so easily these days, and it's like, oh God, just get some thicker skin, okay? Like, people get so mad about, people saying different things, and it's like, just, it frustrates me so much, right? Just get some thick skin. But sometimes it can actually be something really, really hurtful. So when you feel like someone is being intentionally hurtful towards you, in a way that for me accounts as disrespectful behavior, okay? Especially when someone's like perhaps like demeaning you in some way, condescending to you as well. That I think also counts as disrespectful behavior as well, right? Not being appreciated, right? That's disrespectful behavior, where someone's just literally using you, right? Not good, okay? So that you can kind of get a feel for what I mean by what accounts as disrespectful behavior. So what do you say to someone then when someone you're dating or someone you're in a relationship with, or just anyone really? It doesn't have to be dating and relationships. What do you say to someone who behaves in that way, right? Who is disrespectful to you, right? So first of all, it's best to assume that they don't mean anything by it and that they've made a mistake, that they didn't actually mean to hurt your feelings, right? They didn't mean to disrespect you. So you got to give them a chance to change their behavior, basically. So you got to say to them something like, hey, I didn't really like the way you just spoke to me then. I'm going to go. I'm just going to leave right now because I don't feel comfortable. But, you have my number. Just contact me when you're ready to apologize, okay? I'm really sorry. And then you leave. You leave the situation, right? Now, if they care about you, they will then change their behavior. They'll apologize. They'll say sorry. They may even stop you from leaving and be like, oh no, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to offend you. I'm really, really sorry, right? And, that's how you give them that chance, right? But the thing is if they keep on doing that after you've said something like that and they haven't changed their behavior, that's when you have to think, okay, I probably need to cut this person out. If there's someone that you're dating, then you decide to not go out on another date with them. You decide that you're not going to continue dating them. You don't talk to them again. You may say to them that. You may say, look, this is just not for me. I don't really like the way that you talk to me, so I don't want to continue seeing you. Something like that. Because if you carry on seeing them, right, basically what you're doing is you're just enabling their behavior. But if you actually stand up to them and you decide to leave, at least then perhaps they may not do that kind of thing again in the future. Perhaps if they go out on a date with someone new, they will stop doing that sort of thing because they can see they're not getting their way with behaving in that way. Or they may not. They might be a complete narcissist or sociopath or whatever it may be, and they may just continue to bully people in that way. Who knows? When it comes to family, that's a little bit more tricky, especially if they're family that you see on a regular basis. So what you do then is you just measure the distance. You just, become more distant from that person. You don't spend as much time with them, which can be tough. But ultimately, you don't want to be feeling, crappy all the time, right? And you shouldn't have to feel crappy all the time. So then you just distance yourself from that person and you don't engage with them as much, right? Because sometimes you can't avoid people. It could also be like colleagues. Sometimes you can't avoid a colleague, right? So you just measure the distance. You just don't speak to them as much. That's all you do. Okay? So the thing that you got to remember then is a true apology is changed behavior, right? So if they don't change their behavior, then that's when you've got to really start distancing yourself from them, or you cut them out of your life completely, okay? Because you're showing them then that you are not going to tolerate being treated in that way, okay? So changed behavior is what you're looking for. So that means they never do it again. They never say anything like that to you again, okay? And that's sort of like how you deal with that, okay? So in my personal opinion, it's sort of like 2 strikes and you're out. So that means if you've told them how you would like to be treated and you've asked them to apologize, they do that, but they continue, that means that's when it's 2 strikes out. You're gone if it's someone that you're dating and can easily dispose of, basically, right? But if it's someone that, that's just like someone you can't really get rid of, like a family member, or it's like someone that you work with that you can't really avoid, you just try and spend less time with them, and you don't engage as much in conversation with them. Okay? So the thing is that it is tough to do this sort of thing sometimes. If you struggle with standing up for yourself, which sometimes I do, it can be difficult to actually say these things because it is very confrontational, I guess, in a way. I mean, you could take the easy route and just, if it's someone that you're dating, you just decide to never go on a date with them. You don't even say anything to them because, perhaps you can just like not talk to them ever again, and you don't actually have to say to them anything like, like what I've suggested, like, hey, I don't like the way that you've spoken to me. You've got my contact information when you're ready to apologize. You don't have to say that to them. You could easily just get up and walk away from that situation completely without saying anything, right? So sometimes you have to kind of look at your own situation and the context of your situation. But you should never tolerate being disrespected in any kind of way, okay? Because it's not the self-respecting thing to do, right? And you deserve to be treated with politeness, kindness, and appreciation. And if someone isn't being kind to you, isn't talking to you in a very polite, kind manner, then they're not worth it, right? You can't because people that feel like they can say anything to you, right, they don't respect you, right? People that feel like they can just say anything to you and just, be condescending or just being an ass, basically, right? If they feel like they can do that, then they're just going to keep on doing it, basically. So you need to stand up to them, unfortunately, especially if it's someone that you can't sort of get rid of, right? So that's my thoughts on that. You got to start respecting yourself, basically, right? You got to start standing up for yourself, especially if you've struggled with that kind of thing in the past. So that was my thoughts on how to deal with disrespectful behavior when it comes to dating and relationships, not just romantic relationships, but other kinds of relationships too. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally and you'd like coaching with me, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com. And if there's anything you'd like me to discuss in a future video, then please leave it down in the comments and I will try to do that as soon as I possibly can. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.